Hey everyone, welcome to another Sunday Stock Talk. I'm going to be checking the audio, just making sure that we're good to go, and then we're going to get this party started. All right, looks like we got 10 people here tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm just going to, there we go. All right, looks like we got, all right, audio is good to go. All right, guys, thanks again. Thank you so much for joining me on Sunday. I know you guys have better things to do than look at stocks, right? So thank you so much for your time. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to look at futures. We're going to do some live analysis together. We're going to talk about the setups that have already played out and what to look for the rest of the week. And then we're going to look at some swing trades. Hi, Todd. Welcome, everyone. All right, so without further ado, let's get this party started. All right, so the first thing we always have to ask ourselves is, where are we opening, right? So that's why I always, in the pre-market plan, I always draw the range, because I want to know where we are opening relative to the range, right? So you could see here was the close and we gapped up slightly, right? So the first play that is always a valid play is the opening range breakout. So whether you do the opening range breakout on a 5-minute chart or an hourly chart, it doesn't matter. It's the same concept, right? You're just trying to take the first bar and play to the break of that bar. So the first setup, which was pretty much a scalp, if we look at it together, so we had the first hourly range right here, okay? So we can draw the fib of this range like this, okay? We can draw the fib of this range of the first hour like this. And what we can do is we broke to the downside. So all we had to do here, guys, was short, okay? Short when we broke to the downside right there. And if you want to go very, very tight, you put your stop on the 50. And this is what we call a scalp, where we're just going for a quick banger, right? So we come in here at the very low, we made close to 1.5 times. Very, very simple play. Lock in some profits and be done. The one thing you don't want to do is get trapped on Sunday, because it's difficult to hold all Sunday night, and going into the open, there could be a lot of manipulation. So you really would just want to come in, hit it for a few points, and just leave, right? So that was play one, which was the short. And then the second play is the gap fill. So the gap fill is the other play that I talk about in the pre-market plan. So how you play the gap fill, you see right here, the high of this closing bar, that's where you want to come in, and you want to put your stop right below the low of that bar, right? So very, very beautiful trade right there. And this is a nice one. So we already hit 1.5 times your money there. And now you can put your stop loss to break even if you're holding multiple contracts, and just let this one go. Because if the bulls are going to hold it, they're most likely going to hold it here. Because if we zoom out, right, we can see that we actually made a support on the 382. So, two very good plays. We had the short of the opening range breakout, took that down. And then right here, this gap fill, taking that up, now putting a stop loss to break even on the rest of the position. Very, very two solid plays. And like I said, when you are playing the Sunday open, you want to kind of, especially like when we open here, you see how we're opening kind of in the middle in no man's land. Then you want to be very, very cautious. You want to be very, very cautious when you trade, because it's bound to get chopped out, right? So the key things we have to look at this week is really look at the range, right? Until we break to the upside of the range or to the bottom of the range, everything else can be considered consolidation. All right, hi Rizwan. Yeah, so everything else can pretty much be consolidation until we break out of the range. So just keep that in mind, and don't get poked out or chopped up. Keep that in mind, that until we break that, we're pretty much not going to have an explosive move. All right, so let's go to the weekly chart, because I want to talk about this from last week. Let me just remove drawings. So last week, I said we were here, and I said, if we come back down, if we break the low of last week, look for this mid Bollinger Band right here around 37.20 to be a major area of support. And it turned out exactly as I predicted, because we could see multiple times in the past when we come to the mid Bollinger Band, how we respect it. And this is what we call the 20, this is the 20 exponential moving average. That's basically what this is. So we came down to 37.20 here. We held it, and then we popped up, and now the bulls are trying to push and make a new higher high. Like they're trying to continue this trend. You see this? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. They want to continue that right now. They're trying to form that. If we take the Fibonacci from this low to this high, you can see how we touch a 786 exactly, right? You see how beautiful that is? That's what we call picture perfect. This is why I love Fibonacci. So right here, we had this impulsive leg, pull back to the 786. All you had to do here was load up on the 786, stop either below the swing low or below the 886. And that's an easy winner, guys. And then that has a lot of potential to continue higher. So the analysis last week paid off very, very well. And if we look at NQ, the same thing, opening range breakout, but NQ is weaker. So the gap fill did not work on NQ. NQ is a lot weaker. So you could still be in this opening range breakout right now and NQ and seeing what the potential has. You guys notice how NQ opens near the lows of the range while ES is opening near the high of the range. So wait, let me just put back drawings 1 sec. Okay, get rid of this. Is that it? Yep. Yeah, and you see how ES is opening in the upper top of the range, right? So this is a big difference in between. This is what we call relative strength. So overall, the S&P 500 is a lot stronger than NQ, right? Because we can see NQ is opening below the 50% line, whereas ES is opening above. And whenever we have that kind of misalignment, usually what happens is there's going to be a lot of chop and a lot of battle because the indexes are not aligned together. Any tips on scalping, like trying to scalp 4 points? Yeah, so I like that, just what I showed you, right? So you don't go for points. You just want to play the setup here. So let's say here you have an opening range breakout right here, right? So let's just draw it up together. So let's take the fib from the high to the low like this. Okay, so let's say you short right here on 50.75, and then you're gonna have your stop on the 50. Okay, so like that. So you're risking about 8 points. So you need to get at least 8 points return in order for this to work, right? So you get your 8 points right over there. So that's how I would do it. You know, just go for a quick scalp, get in and out. All right. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for futures. Until we break out of the range, we're gonna probably be chopping around. So the good thing is when we open right off the bat, you usually have some momentum. So you can usually play that almost like you play a day trade, right? So let's look at AMD as Rizwan's request. If anybody else has requests, please feel free to throw them in the chat. So let's look at AMD. Let me pull this thing up. Oh, the hell did I do? Okay, she's dead now. Next, let's get to the AMD. AMD didn't really, I don't think it showed up on any of my scanners or anything like that. Nicholas Short played out pretty good last week. Good job. Great job. Happy to see that you made some profit. I remember we went through that one. That's good. The market was like pretty weird last week in terms of it was kind of bearish and then it rallied bullish. So good play. What am I looking at here? So AMD, it's trying to form this double bottom. You see here? You see how we had this set level and it's trying to hold it again. So 1, 2, 3 times we're trying to hold this. So really for AMD, it needs to hold this low here now. So it really needs to hold this low. If it starts breaking through this low, things can get a little bit nasty. But this is the line in the sand here. We're trying to hold it and trying to put in a triple bottom. So if we could have like another, like an inside bar or something here developing, that would be a great opportunity. Or you could just bracket the week's range and play the range. Definitely, it's trying. It's definitely trying. If I draw a fib on the short, I'm pretty sure that's at some extension. So let's draw the fib together. So here's the short fib. So if we take the fib from high to low like this, right? So we pull back to the 618. See that right here? Pull to the 618. So we went A, B, 618, trade to the extension right here. So there were some algos sitting here. Let's see. Let me add where is the negative 618? Let me just add this one in here. There we go. All right. So we had 618 to 618. So that's basically what played out there. So we had the impulsive leg, pull back to 618. And then algos dumped all the way to the 618. And then now the buyers are stepping in on the 618. So that's pretty much what we're seeing here. So there is definitely some buyers over here in this area. And the algos who shorted up here have covered a lot already down here. So basically, if we start breaking down here lower, though, that would be a very bearish sign because the bulls are here right now. There's the wick. This is the bulls right here. All right. Got anything else? Okay, so let's go through the swing trades. We didn't have much, this week, and that's fine. I bet everyone's just busy with different things. So let's look at this. Ooh, what a nasty candle right here. The hell happened on that? Let's see. What is this? That must be a glitch, right? Yeah, I think that's a glitch, right, guys? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That's a glitch. There's no way that wick went up there. So that's a glitch in Tradingview. Yep. Okay. So ignoring this glitch here, if let's draw the fibs up for Tesla. Let's take the furthest swing low, this one down here, pull it up. Okay. So now we're at a very interesting point for Tesla. We are at the 618, and you can already see that there were buyers here, right? So we also had 1, 2, 3, 4 red weeks in a row. So if Tesla can start turning around and can start holding this 618 area, it's a pre-market price. Okay. And if Tesla can start holding this area here, that's definitely a great buying opportunity. And you can already see that buyers have stepped in on the 50 and the 618 already. So buyers are ready to play this. The short that I called out here on Tesla back on February was a great short. It worked really well. And the reason that I was so interested in taking the short on Tesla was because we were just chopping back and forth for a while. And usually when we chop back and forth for a while, the next move is going to be big. And because the market was lining up bearish, this was a great short here. But definitely looks like there's a lot of bulls stepping in to play the game right now. So if we can start basing here, or we can just start turning around here, this is a great long-term buy right here. What broker? I'm using Interactive Brokers. Can you look at... That's not a glitch. Yeah, that's so weird. That's some manipulation. Let's look at THO. Thor Industries. So always start from the bigger picture, right? So we could see that this stock was going very bullish. And then in basically 2018, we had this big sell-off here. So it does look like we've had some great bullish legs. But my main concern would be if we take the Fibonacci from the high to the low, you can see that there's some shorts that are already trying to stack the odds in bearish favor, because you can see here, look, 618, lots of shorts, and then they added again here at the 786. So they are stacking up for short. So maybe this does get a little bit of a cool off. If we start turning around here, we're definitely going to cool off and sell off a little bit. But if we can start breaking through these levels up here, then we're going to be threatening the previous all-time high, and we can definitely break above. So what else do we have? Draftkings. Let's look at Draftkings. I'm in Draftkings long term right over here. I got in it, and I've just been in it for a long time now. I don't really care what happens, because I'm just going to be holding Draftkings and adding, if it every time it dips, I'll just add some more money into it. But definitely a very interesting candle. Very, very interesting. If we look at this candle here, we could see that there's a mixture of trapped bulls who bought the breakout, right? These are the bulls that are new. So they see that DraftKings is going to all-time highs. Like, these are the people that don't really trade, and then they just hear about it on the news, and then they just buy. And then the professional shorts come in here and just trap them. Boom. So they get trapped. So that's why it's very bearish if we continue lower, because there's a lot of trap bulls in this wick. But on the other hand, if we start consolidating and then we actually break through this wick, there will be a lot of trap shorts. But you can clearly see, just reading the candlestick, that the majority of retail heard about this, and all-time highs, blah, blah, blah. They bought up here, right? And then the professionals just dumped on them. And that's a common occurrence that we see. So let's see, next tap. Yeah, so I was gonna take tap on a swing trade, but like over here, guys, this is all the swing trades that I'm taking in the private room next week. All of these right here, and tap was on my list. I did find it on my scanner, and it made a lot of sense and everything, but I just don't like the way it reacts with these candles. I see a lot of wicks, a lot of traps, and because of that, I'm not willing to risk any of my capital on tap. And like it does, seem like a good long opportunity, but at the same time, it's been in a very big downtrend. So it's hard for me to really want to risk some capital. So that's why I took it off of the swing trade list. I have extended hours trading off on Tesla, and that candle is still there. It looks like a glitch. Yeah, I think it's a glitch. I think it's a glitch. Otherwise, I probably would have heard about that. Okay, so let's get back to the request. So Tesla, Facebook. I can't talk about Facebook because we have a swing trade open on that one that we're planning to take in the private room. I can talk about Netflix. So let's look at Netflix. So I'm going to teach you guys a little lesson today on the power of stop limit orders. So let me get rid of all this. These are all like previous trades and stuff with Netflix. So I think it's on the monthly. Yes, it's on the monthly. So with Netflix, we in the private room, we had this inside bar, and this was a setup to go long. And we wanted to get in basically right near the high. So right here at 565, right? And that last week, it didn't break through 565. So we never took the fill, right? So this is the power of stop limit order. You can control when you want to get into the trade. So because Netflix never got past 565, we never went in the trade, and therefore we never experienced this sell-off here. So that's kind of why I love using stop limit orders. But I'm going to give Netflix a little bit more time. I really feel like it does want to break all, like it does want to break up. Just look at that, right? It does. It really does. It's just when. And it's probably going to need some help from the market in order for it to get above these hurdles, right? Like NQ is so weak that Netflix is suffering because of that, right? Because Netflix is a part of NASDAQ, and the other stocks in the NQ are pulling Netflix down. So you have to always remember the context, right? And like if the overall market is not really pushing, then it's hard for these stocks to get to all-time highs. So I'm gonna let Netflix hang out a little bit more, and then maybe in a week or two reassess. EXC. Yeah, Exelon. There's actually let's go to the weekly. Yeah, so really nice inside bar setup right here. Really nice inside bar setup. I like that. I think that's a good trade. Let's draw the fib together. Low to high, right on the 618. So I knew that was sitting there. I knew it was sitting there. So that's a very, very good trading opportunity. So thanks for the chart, Francisco. Thank you very much. So that's the long. Let's draw the short. So go from high to low. And we can see as well that the 618 on the short traded to extensions. So this is actually a very good pivot. So for this particular trade, the setup would be just to bracket both sides. If you break to the upside, go long. If you break to the downside, go short. I think this is a very good setup. So definitely something to keep eyes on. And then we can look at this next week and see how it played out. LLY. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so we have Lily here. Definitely looks like it wants to go. So let me get rid of that. So you can see here on the monthly chart, we have the big bull bar, and we have the pause, the inside bar pause, and then we are doing a flag, right? So we have a flag like this. So this is what we call a bull flag, right? Just make that like that. So we have a bull flag here. We have this is the pull, and then this is the consolidation. So definitely, if we can break right above this resistance here, 209.95, this zone could definitely have a little push up here. Look at this nice inside bar back on the 2nd of November. That was a beauty right there. Look, very, very beautiful. So yeah, just basically playing this bull flag now. Looks solid. If the market can get going, guys, if the market gets going this week, like names like this will move. They're going to move because the market will be helping them. Would it be valid to break the same inside candle later on? Yeah, it depends. Yep, you can do that. For me, I wait. I look at the price action to determine if I want to keep it on or not. What do you think about Yelp and Visa? Okay. Yelp. So yeah, nice inside bar, really nice one, really pretty one. The last time we had an inside bar over here, that was already great money right there. That's at least 1-to-1 right there. So definitely inside bars. You know, I love inside bars. Look at this one over here to the short side. Look at that. Boom. Right? I love inside bars. Very simple. Anyone can trade it. That's why I love it. You know, don't need to complicate things. So definitely here with this inside bar on Yelp, bracket both sides, because even though it looks very bullish, you have to remember that this thing has been in a downtrend for a long time. So anytime something's in a downtrend for a long time, there's always the potential for shorts to come back into the game. So definitely bracketing this to both sides would be a great play for Yelp. Visa is one of my favorite. We're already in this swing trade in Visa. I'll show you guys. So this right here, double click inputs. So we've been in Visa from $210.88. So we already hit our targets. Like we already hit a few targets on Visa for this initial swing trade over here. And now we basically are risk-free. So we've already hit some targets on Visa in our swing trade. And now we're pretty much just waiting to see what's next, right? And I really like Visa because I noticed a sector rotation recently. Like tech has been lagging, but other industries have stepped up, and the financial sector being one of them, like Visas and MasterCards and banks. The banks have stepped up. Like we've been in Morgan Stanley for a while, and Morgan Stanley has been doing good. So I really feel like, the finance sector is stepping up. So Visa, if we just look at this pattern here, it's been consolidating for a while, and it's been putting in higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, right? So we already had a false breakout here, right? We already had a false breakout, and now we're trying again. So any shorts that have been shorting, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, they're on the timer, right? Yeah, flat top triangle, excellent pattern, exactly, because the flat top means that there's many attempts from the shorts, and the higher lows means that we're building up pressure to the bulls. We're getting higher bids, right? Eventually, there's going to be a conclusion. So I really like Visa. We're already in it in the private room, and I really hope it continues to go, because I don't see why it shouldn't. It's a big player in the S&P 500, and with the sector rotation, I'm hoping that we can get a big squeeze into the next few weeks. Sitting in ticker UNH. That's great, from 328. Okay, that's good. Let's take a look. Yeah, nice play here. We had an inside bar right here. So I'm assuming you took the inside bar up. Very good. Good job. Can we please go over SLV? So we could see we're testing the 20 EMA again. And we had this double top here that we talked about last week, right? Remember, we talked about this double top that, this can be a nasty short because they're trap bulls who bought the breakout. So, I hate buying the breakout. I really do. So many bad memories doing that. And I know you guys have some too. But yeah, so we are trying again to hold this. But with this double top, if things start flushing, they're going to flush hard. There's a lot of trap traders there. Hey, Rich, what are some quick ways to identify sector rotation? Well, when you're swing trading and trading every day, like, I day trade every day, I swing trade every day, I can just see it in the chart. Like, for example, when I'm looking at Visa or I'm looking at Morgan Stanley, they're making higher highs, whereas Tesla is getting crushed, or whereas, Microsoft's and Google's are not making higher highs. So that's the real test. Is relative strength means, and sector rotation means, that those sectors are making new highs. Even though the market might be bearish, they're making new highs. That's what's important. That's how you know a sector is strong. And that used to be NQ, right? And the NASDAQ used to be always the one that's making higher highs regardless of whatever's happening. Now the tables have turned. So there's a lot of trapped people in the market. There's a lot of people bag holding. So things can get wild, especially, how it is. When we sell, it's usually really, really hard, right? When a sell comes, it comes and people just, blood goes on the streets. So, for me, I like to, if I find good sectors, so things that, let me open up my broker here 1 second. I just want to tell you guys what I have left. Just gonna check. I know I have 1 sec, guys. I have God, I got kicked out of my broker right now. 1 sec. I have a few names that I have on that have been showing relative strength, and those are the ones that I'm basically just sitting in. So let me just go read only. Okay, so portfolio. So the ones that I like right now that I'm in, Oracle, MU, and Morgan Stanley. Those are three of my swings that I've still been in. And I really like, let's just look at those together. So this is what the concept of relative strength is, right? Let's look at Oracle. See, so here's Oracle. Let's go to the monthly chart. So this is the trade we took in the private room. So the entry was 64.49. So right above this red bar. So you see, like, even though the market has been going down, look at how Oracle has made a new all-time highs. See that, guys? That's what relative strength is. So I've been in Oracle and I'm really happy with the performance on that. And hopefully if the market starts to get bullish, this will continue to be super bullish and lead the market. Let's look at Morgan Stanley. So yeah, so we've been in Morgan Stanley since 73.45. And yeah, see like how it's still making new highs? That's what the concept of relative strength is. ES is dumping again. Could you go over that later? Thanks, Charlie. I don't really see a dump. We had the opening range breakout to the short side, and that played out really well. And now the gap fill is playing out really well. This is not considered dumping. We're still in the range of the previous week, right? So while we're in the range of the previous week, there's going to be a lot of chop because the bulls and the bears have not decided who's going to take the trophy yet. So, as long as we just stay in the middle of the range, this is just going to be chopped. So don't get too, into it because you're going to get chopped out. What we really want to see is, will the range break to the upside or will the range break to the downside? And we have the key Fibonacci's that I laid out for you guys to help us. So you already see this 382. Do you see how we touched it and we popped? That's an algorithm already made money there. And then if we break through here, then we have the 50 and the 618. And you see how the algorithms work? Like even this short, you see how the short started from the 236. So these are algorithms. They just play the levels, play the level, and then it's very mechanical for the robots. Very, very mechanical. So they're having fun right now. The robots are having fun. They're having a good time. They're partying right now. So that's what's really going on in the market. So don't take it too seriously until we really break the range. What else did we have? Netflix, SNDL, PLTR. We already did Draftkings. Okay, so SNDL. Yeah. I don't play names like these guys. It's too dangerous. But there was a few. Look at this inside bar though. Really, that was a big boy. But this is a highly manipulated stock. So your technical analysis doesn't really do much. Always remember that, guys. If it's been manipulated, technical analysis doesn't really mean much. So PLTR. Let's go to the daily chart. So yeah, so we've been talking about PLTR every week, right? We initially the call outs that we day traded and swing traded were back over here. This push up. So that was the easy money. Those, like, the first push is always the easy money. It's always easy money. The second and third push are harder because it's too obvious, right? And that by the time the second and third push comes, it's like random people, retail traders, and the market they want to punish those traders. They want to take advantage of rookies, right? So we had this pull to the 618 trading to extensions, okay? And now we have a nice hammer. So very, very clean hammer. So this hammer is key because there are buyers trapped in here. So if we ever gap down, if we ever break this low, expect there to be a follow through to the downside. But definitely looks like we're forming a base. Look for some more choppiness and then finally pushing up if we do. PLNT, Planet Fitness. company does well. I didn't even know they do well. That's crazy. So here's the all-time high right up here. This was the previous all-time high, 88.50s. And then you could see that we double top there. You see that? Exactly double top. And we had, what did we have again, guys? A false breakout. So I hope that at least through this Sunday stock talk that you guys are seeing, like, it's usually never worth to buy the breakout. Like, look at these breakout buyers. Usually they get trapped. It's always better to buy the 20 EMA or the moving averages on the way up instead of trying to buy the breakout. Because I think we looked at 3 or 4 examples, and every time we looked at a breakout example, it just reversed, right? So that's my whole point. That's why I don't like buying the breakout. However, like we have this candle, which is very crazy. And that candle is sitting on a fib. So let's take it from this swing low to the high. So the 618 for this leg, and then let me try this leg over here. Yeah, so right around so you could see that there were algorithms here. Like, that's why it turns like that so quickly, because it's pre-orders from robots that are sitting on the levels. And that's why we turn, boom. So this has to hold for the continuation of the next leg up, because if it doesn't hold, then there's going to be a lot of inventory here that's going to get liquidated. All right. Go. Go to the weekly. Yeah, not much. You know, you guys notice, like, whenever we come to the 20 exponential, which is the mid Bollinger Band, like how we usually have buyers. Like, look, even here, buyers, we usually have buyers when we touch this. That's why I have the Bollinger Bands on, because look over here when we were in a downtrend. You see how it kind of like perfectly touches it. Sometimes it breaks through, but that's fine. But you see, guys, like how it uses it. I really like this. So if you guys don't have that on your chart, you should definitely add it. And it works really well on the higher time frames. So right here in GoGo, again, this is the same thing like what we just looked at. The bulls are trying to make an attempt here. This is on a Fibonacci. So we draw it from the low here. High. So we're right on the 786, right? So again, so this needs to hold in order for the bulls to continue higher. If it doesn't hold, then we can come back down here, try to look for double bottom. All right. So Andrew said inside on the monthly for PLNT. Let's go back. Make sure we help Andrew out. So it's inside right now, right? But this bar hasn't closed yet. Okay. This has only been 1 week of data. The monthly bars, they close at the end of the month. So it's not really an inside bar yet until it closes. So just be aware of that. So it looks like an inside bar right now, but this bar is still developing because it takes 1 whole month for these candles to develop. So just be careful with that. You don't want to take an inside bar setup until the candle closes, right? All right. So what else do we have? Anybody post something else? Not going to make this one, but thanks, Ricardo. Thank you. Draftkings. Okay, so the one we didn't do here was Spices Right. All right, let's look at that. See, you guys notice when the market was very bullish, like these names were flying, right? Like they were flying and everybody was super bullish and everybody thought everything was going to go up. But as soon as the market turns, these are the ones that come down quickly as well. So that's why you always have to be careful with some of these tickers. You have to be very, very careful because as quickly as they go up, they can come down. Look at this drop here from $65 all the way back down to $23. It's pretty insane, right? But look, we have the patterns. So look at this beautiful inside bar at the top, right? And we had 1, 2, 3 long wicks. So you definitely could have just played this to the short side. Or if you were long, this was your signal to leave, right? When it broke the low of this inside bar, that's your signal to leave. So you definitely can use the inside bars to help you with, if you're already in a position, right? And you get an inside bar while you're in the position, then you can use that for your trailing stop loss, right? So the inside bar is really, really good. I really think it's a tool that you guys should be using. RKT. Yeah. So this one, I think I called this out on a day trade. So you see how we broke the low of this inside bar and then we had a good push down. So that's good for a day trade, but definitely don't want to be caught swinging this position because it's very, very dangerous with those wicks. FSR, yeah, I don't really see anything here. I don't see any signals or anything like that. High flyers, guys, right? These are high flyers, so you just be careful with what you do. For me, I'd rather put all my money in Visa, let's say, right? If I had a choice between playing this and playing Visa, I'll put all my money into Visa and use margin. I'd rather do that. So at least I know it'll be safe. Square. What's been going on with this guy? The weekly. I had a few trades in Square, made some good money on that. And again, we're in the same, a lot of you'll see the general trend in the market is that we're retesting the 20 exponential a lot. And you see how we hold it? Like it's not the 20 exponential, like you can see here and here, is not going to go down without a fight because there's a lot of robots there. So now this week coming into the market for a lot of these names, it's going to be very important. Are we going to hold this and continue to make higher highs? Or is this going to be the time where we actually flip over and start selling off? So very, very critical time for the market. Bandwidth, like here's an example of blowing right through the 20, right? When we blow right through, you see how fast the selling comes. When we blow through, the selling comes fast. And this is also a double top. And this is what I was talking about with silver, just like being careful for these double tops. Yep, too many people playing meme stocks. It's dangerous, definitely. You don't need to play those stocks, guys, if you want to make money. You don't have to. Let me show you the right way. Margin, you trade with margin with the right risk and trade blue chips. You can make a living doing that. You can make millions doing that, guys. Don't let the media convince you that you have to play GameStop to make a million. That's not true. Tiger. Yeah, so nothing here for me. The 20 is down here. So kind of waiting for that to catch up. Nothing really right now. So what else do we have here? Hi, Rich. Can you look at, is that PLL? Okay, what is this? Is that right? PLL? Or is that PII? Sharon, let me know if I'm looking at the right one. So we'll come back to that one. Baba. What's going on with Baba? So yeah, Baba was a loser for us. Here was the exact trade on Baba. The entry was 267.50 and the stop was 238.61, and we got taken out on Baba. I wanted to play it because it was at the 20 and it was also a nice inside bar. But it was a loser, so part of the game. We lost small on that, and we just, it's part of the game. We're gonna have some losers. Polaris. Those are eyes. Okay. PII. There we go. So this definitely looks interesting. Here's the monthly. You see we had a monthly inside bar last month and we broke out of that. So the bulls are really trying to push up here. The bulls want to break through here. So this low right now that's already formed, so what is that, 119.20, is very important, because if we actually turn around here and break back through this low, that'll be very, very bearish. But look at this, guys. Look at this. This is very rare. This is like you find like you're hunting for treasure and you find treasure. Look at this. Triple inside on the monthly. Look how beautiful that is. So let's draw the trend line here. Right, so we can bring it like that. And then we can do the here. So this is a beautiful triple inside. So beautiful. So these patterns are very, very rare. Very, very rare. But you see how powerful they are, right? I think this is the second one we've seen on Sunday Stock Talk. And look at when they break. Look at the gains, right? Because there's been a lot of inventory here consolidating. So this is a textbook flag. How do I get your book? So for my book, just go on my website and let's do that together. So we'll just go here, Trading Wars. So here's my services, right? So here's for this private swing room, and then here for day trading right here. So all you gotta do is hit purchase. and then it's going to send me a notification, and then I'll email you with the steps. Basically, I just take it through PayPal, pretty much. I don't have like the whole thing set up on my website where you can just buy from the website yet. I'm working with somebody to get that done, but yeah, usually I just take Venmo or PayPal for the book. So thank you. Record sales, that's all I will say. Okay. No, I mean the pattern is there, right? Here's the inside bar. We broke above. So that's got to hold though, right? If we turn around and we break this low, that's going to be very bearish. So pretty much if you're swinging this, I would keep my stop right here, 119.67, and just see where it can go. And if it does get going, right? Look at this. If it does get going, all-time highs are not too far away. So, we can test that. I see a nice fib leg here. I just want to draw it. So look at that, right? So this is the power of Fibonacci. So we had this big impulsive leg down, and then the impulsive leg, we pull back to the 618, 786. So the zone here, we sell off, and then look, we sell to the measured move 1272 extension, right? So you can see here that their algorithms here, they bought that. Imagine if you bought it like that right there. You feel like a genius, right? You just bought it right there. But this is the power of extension. Usually on the short side, these algos, they dump it on 272, 50, 618, any one of these. So if you're like, let's say you want to be in Polaris long term, you could do a pyramid approach. So when we're coming down, you have limit orders, limit order, limit order, limit order, limit order. So like if it just comes in and fills you, that's a very, very powerful strategy. All right. So that's that one. What else do we have, guys? Anything else? MBUU and Dodo. Let's see. MBUU. Look at that. Yep. So let's go to the weekly, see if we see anything. Yep. So there's a lot of consolidation here. So when this resolves, it's going to be big. Like, look at the shorts here, right? You see the shorts? They tried. But this candle is kind of bullish here. So if we can get past these highs here, definitely push up. Dodo. Oh, that's DOOO. Yeah, so all of those are kind of like the similar pattern. Up at all-time highs. Rizwan wants BA. Okay, let's do that. BA Boeing. What do we do? We did a lot of analysis on this guy already, right? We did lots. So the first thing we had was this push, pull back to the 618. You see how it held the 618 perfectly here? See that? 1, 2, double bottom, pushed up, came back to the mid band, and now it's continuing. It's trying to make a new high. But there's a lot of sellers in here. Look at this. Wick. There's a lot of sellers. So it's not going to go down without a fight. That's for sure. So now let's draw the short fib together. Let's draw the short fib. So the short fib is this move. Okay, so let's draw it together. So from here's the high to the low right there. So right around that 786, 886 zone. So the reason why algorithms like to take these plays is because it's a very good risk to reward, right? So like imagine this. Imagine you're short on the 786 and you put your stop loss at the swing high like that. You see like even if you just get this little move that already happened, you already almost made 1 times your money. But what if you get like a big sell off? You can make a lot. So the algorithms, they're very mechanical. Like these are great setups they take because the risk to reward is really good. You risk a little bit here, and if it works, you make a lot, right? So you could see that they're piled in here. That's why the wicks are here. NOC. Yeah, so there's let's take the bigger picture fib from this low to high. Okay, so look at that. You see how we're hugging the 618 once, twice, 3, 4. This is the power of fibs, guys. Look at that. Why do we touch this exactly? Why do we touch this exactly? Why do we touch this exactly? Right? That's Fibonacci, guys. All right. So I hope you guys start using these. It's very, very powerful, guys. Look at that. You could have limit orders on the 618. Just, hey, I'm waiting for it. Whenever it comes, it comes. And then, like, imagine if you just scalp this. It touches it, boom. Touches it, boom. Touches it, boom. Right? So that's the power of fibs, guys. Very, very powerful. I talk about it a lot in my book. So let's go now for the short side. So the short was 786 right here. See that? 786. They front ran it a little bit, but 76. So right now, there is bulls on the 618 and there's shorts on the 786. So there's actually a really big battle right here that's going on. And that's why we've been chopping, because no one is willing to throw in the towel yet, right? So let's see how this resolves. If we break through the 618, it could be pretty fast, because there's a lot of buyers here. And if we start breaking to the upside, definitely going to look for all-time highs. AXTA. Yep. So very nice inside bar here. Look at that. Very, very nice. And we had a double inside bar and a little bit of resolution. And now we have another one. So this one looks real good if we can like just bracket this bar and see where it takes you, either to the downside or to the upside. Very, very, very good setup. Look at these inside bars down here, guys. Look at these ones down here. Boom, boom. Look at that. Big money. Big money, right? Look at this one. You like sometimes if you get the inside bars like near the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, they're very powerful, or near the top of the Bollinger Bands, they're very powerful as well. AXS. This looks exactly the same. So exactly the same analysis. With the upcoming wars, I would think NOC should be good. Yep. Guys, that's why my channel is called Trading Wars. Because it's a war. It really is a war. You guys can see it, right? Like when you day trade and stuff, you can see it that it's not easy. It's a real war right now. There's shorts in the market. There's bulls in the market. Both sides are playing the game. Both sides are playing the game. So it's going to be tough. So the main thing is going through this next quarter, or, you know, however long this continues, is just make sure that you trade with appropriate size, and, you know, don't ask for big moves in the market when the context is not there, right? If the indexes are overall not moving strong, then don't look for big home run trades. Instead, you should be looking for like scalping trades and just, you know, make some quick turnover, right? So you have to adjust your expectations based on the market. If the market is, you know, moving a lot and it's all directions point to the upside, then yes, then you can definitely, you know, hold things and hold them for a longer term. But when the market is undecided, you have to be more nimble. All right. So yeah, so I think that's it for me, guys. We had 48 minutes together, and we didn't get to the 50 mark, which is unfortunate. I really thought we were going to break it today, but that's okay. I'm sure everyone's busy with different things. But we had some great setups like on futures, right? You know, that's why I make sure you guys read the pre-market plans, right? I gave the orb, I gave the gap fill, read the plans. I put a lot of work into them, and I really genuinely want to help you guys out. You know, I found that by helping people, life's easier. Life is easier, man. It's a lot easier when you, instead of competing with people, you try to help people. Because I've had so much of my students, let's say, guys, that I've helped, and they've come back and been like, hey, Rich, I'm doing this now, and you should look into this. And it gives me new ideas, and it helps me to continue to evolve. All right. You know, I'll tell you guys a quick story before we leave. So, you know, I have this friend. He started off as my student. He's in Europe, and you know, he was trading the inside bars. And long story short, he's doing really, really well with the inside bars, and he's actually created like a robot to trade them for him. So the robot is going to be trading it, and I think he's going to be doing it next month. He's going to be like seeing if how it works. But you know, that's where trading is going, guys. Getting robots to trade for you. Imagine you can just like be sleeping in your bed and the robots will be taking the inside bars for you. That would be awesome. that'll be awesome. So it always makes me happy to see my students succeed, and that's what gives me the most fulfillment, because he was struggling and he wasn't really making money until we met. And changing one life at a time is important to me, very, very important, because he can go and help his community and his family now. And that's what it is. I hope the last thing I want to close off with, guys, is if you can help someone in your community, or you can help families or friends, they can go and impact other people, and it becomes like this chain effect. So always be willing to give a helping hand where you can, and to teach. Education is a human right, and it's what empowers us, right? All right, that's it. Thank you. See you guys next time.